Omo, chai, wonder shall never end. Person beat himself, come still dey cry on top. Abeg, who ask Obidi's husband for explanation? Oga, you do not owe us any explanation, okay? Hey, e be like content don finish o, biko move on. We all have moved on. Even the person wey you and am divorce, she has already moved on now. Na you come now, come dey drag yourself o, all by yourself. No be say anybody dey drag you, na you dey drag yourself o. Hey, my people. Hey, everything wey you come dey talk for this video, we don hear am. You have said it over and over again. Then I don't still know why you're still existing in the past. Oga, all of these things are in the past. Okay? We are now in the future. Face the future. Survive. Yeah, and it be like you cannot even survive without her. Guys, hey, just
Crafting a
watch this video,
story about
guys.
how I'm a horrible human being. And my mental health is really suffering because I know it's not true and I cannot defend myself without it being used against me. But at this point, it's gone too far. It's been nearly 2 years of me, a year and a half of me just minding my own business, just trying to do what's best for my daughters, protect my daughters. And now it's all across the internet that I'm this horrible human. So rather than try to bash the other individual, my ex-wife, Korra Obidi, I am going to simply say, I'm going to simply tell my story about how awesome of a husband I was. So this is not going to be any sort of drama fest. This is just me defending my character. And every single day, somebody's doing something to try to destroy my life based off of things that she said that just simply are not true. I've won everything she said. I've won in court fully. And it just continues for profiteering and to make money. That's all this is about. It's just, let's make some money. Let's capitalize on another person's misfortune who happens to be the father of her children, and let's make as much money as humanly possible. I, on the other hand, have actively not participated in this at all because this is what's best for my kids. But now it's to a point now where I can't look at myself in the mirror because I can't defend myself. And it's just it's frustrating. Many of you have been watching my page and you can see the kind of person I am. You can see who I am as a man, who I was as a husband, those of you that have been following our story for the last 5 years, and who I am as a father. So rather than bash any individual, I am going to simply talk about myself. So, yeah. Those of you guys don't want to hear it, don't listen. This is me telling how much I love and sacrificed for another human, and refusing to participate in all the profiteering that's going on. So here it goes. Many of you guys know my backstory. I'm a small town Eastern Oregon kid, grew up 19 years old, barely literate, read at a 6th grade level. I only got in college because my college coach pulled a favor to get me in, and I was in on a kind of a special circumstances kind of situation. At 19, I decided I'm going to change my life, and I worked hard for until today to better my life and make a better life for my children. And that is all being destroyed so that money can be made. And I'm not here to make money. I am here because it's really affected me that nothing I do, I follow all the rules. I do not participate in anything. I put the kids first, and at the extreme detriment of myself, and it doesn't seem to matter. So here it is, me telling what kind of husband I was. So like I was saying, at 19, I couldn't read. By the time I was 28 years old, I had taught 60 continuing education seminars. I had co-created I'm tired. I'm barely sleeping. I created a soft tissue technique for cutaneous nerves. I've invented 2 treatment techniques that have continuing education courses that I teach called the neurocentric approach, which is actually an entire system that I co-created with my mentor that we teach. So I worked really hard to get to China. I worked really hard to work at the Olympic Training Center. I was there for about 3 months. You gotta understand, getting recruited for this job was very prestigious. There was over 300 applicants. They didn't find anybody that was actually qualified, so they called me because it was a very pivotal role in that particular company. So I established myself, my reputation in my industry as a innovator, as somebody that pushed the boundaries, that wasn't afraid to get criticized for coming up with new ideas, because at the end of the day, I am a patient-centered chiropractor, and if something works, even if it doesn't make sense with the conventional science that we have at the time, which now is present, that I was going to do whatever worked to help my patients feel better. So anyways, so I was in China for about 3 months, and that's when I met Korra, and I'm violating court orders talking about this, but it doesn't seem to matter. Hundreds and hundreds of court order violations later, it doesn't seem to matter. Probably because I'm a male. The system is against men. Absolutely. This is showing me this more than anything. So we met. First night we met, we went out to the club and we had a fantastic night. We both got very intoxicated, and she came back to my house. And being the gentleman that I was, I refused to sleep with her on the first night because I deemed her and myself too drunk. So we did not. And the next morning, that was the only day we spent apart in China, was the next day. From the following day on, we spent every single day, all day together, except for when I was at work or she was at work. I fell in love with her very quickly. Within probably 3 weeks, I knew that this was the person I was going to marry. And that's not something that, I took lightly at the time, or I still don't take lightly now. And I'm so frustrated I even have to talk about this, but at the end of the day, you got to defend your livelihood. So our relationship was perfect in China, to be honest with you. She treated me with respect. She treated me like I was a king, and I returned in kind. So why did she move to China? She moved to China because she released an EP that was an utter failure. And she moved to China because she wasn't making money as a singer, as a dancer. She had broken up with her boyfriend, and she needed to go and make some money. That was the goal, is to go to China for a few years, make some money, and come back and build a house or something like that. Well, I encouraged her adamantly to follow her dreams because I was the product of somebody that overcame insurmountable odds to accomplish my dreams. And at 28 years old, I had accomplished every dream that I had, every goal that I had put out at that point. So I was extremely happy with where I was, and I knew what it felt like to accomplish something very difficult, to accomplish a dream, and then actually see it occur. And I wanted that for her. I wanted that for my wife, soon-to-be wife at that time. So every single day, and I mean every day, we would go out and we would think of content ideas. And I would film for her. I would motivate her. I would push her to be her best. We would do maybe 50 takes of a dance scene on any given day sometimes. And we wouldn't do it until we wouldn't stop until both of us were very happy with the result. And after a few months of this, see what was working and see what wasn't, I decided that it was working. When she moved to China, she had 43,000 Instagram followers and barely any followers anywhere else. And after just a few months, we got her up to like 80,000 roughly. So we were seeing what was working or not. So in high school, I actually took video productions. I took 2 years of video productions. I made the highlight reel for my cross-country team. I really liked editing videos. So what I did is I bought a subscription to Adobe, and I would take the videos and I would actually speed up her body movements to make her look like a better dancer. Now, she's an extremely gifted, talented dancer anyways, but for social media, it's all about like getting your attention past the first 3 seconds. So I would speed up her hips so they would bounce more. I would speed up her arms so it looked a little like